Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. This is the Mastermind Creations Perfection Series PS-14 Incursus, the leader of the Assaultus group, because yep, they are making a Combaticons, onslaughts and everything. And yes, you can see he's a very large blue truck, which we'll go ahead and put off the side here so we can take a look at this very long box. Yep, you can see, there's a big old long window in Incursus in very G1 style with the Ox series, and a nice bit of artwork of him pointing at something or another. You got the photos on top of the thing with all built in on the top here. On the side, you got, well, you got that. Got a nice bit of artwork there. On this side, you got more artwork of Incursus, a larger version. And on the bottom, you got, hey look, warnings and stuff and barcode and age 16, not made in China. And hey look, 3 of the members are here and got 2 more left, or they're coming in a couple months. And on the back you got the kind of the transformation sequence for all this stuff, including the combined mode. And of course his tech specs and a bio and whatnot. And one of the accessories works here, which is of course the tech spec reader, which you can just do that and there you go. Accessory, documentation, whatever you want. And that's the box. Again, also with the box, you got its instructions, which again, very G1-esque of sorts, at least on the outside. And then you got the instructions, which are okay, but they do definitely miss several steps. They're small steps. It's not as bad as Fraudo's, but there's still missing steps there, unfortunately. And you got the collector's card, I guess. Nice, that one, a nice bit of artwork there. Out on the back, you got the bio and some photos and his tech specs, except now readable. So there you go. Now, the actual truck, you can see, it is a very long truck. It has 10 wheels. 10 rubber wheels. And yeah, it is quite long. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot here. It's a dark blue, pretty much mostly dark blue. You got, the kind of the olive military green, some silver on the guns. The bit of the black camo pattern on the hood here, like in the cartoon. You got black and silver on the grill. You got little red lights here. The headlights are here. I think it's transparent plastic with silver behind it, whatnot. And you got silver rims. On the back, you got 2 little red tail lights right there. Yep, big. And of course, you can roll. You can roll pretty well. There's a little bit more I got to talk about that. But first, also, it comes with one accessory, which is his gun, which a little peg hole in the back. Which there's a peg here. Which there you go. Now you got this gun right there. And of course this can swivel around, full 360. You can look up like about that far. There's just 2 hinges here, so you can adjust this just slightly. You can actually do it like that or like this or whatever, however you want to do that. I'm gonna just go ahead and remove this. There's also this thing right here. You can open that up. There's a little bit of detailing in there. That's kind of neat, but ultimately pointless. I can't remember what that was for on the original toy. It did something or other. I think, if I recall. I never had the original one. My brother had the Ruination, or Baldigus, because he had the Japanese version. Yeah, it's a pretty nice little truck thing there, but that's not all he can do. There's also, back here, there's a little button right here, and if you, I find it easier to do it like this for some reason. If you push this button, which is really difficult on mine, you push this in, and while pulling forward. And also, that's the other thing, you got to unpeg these. I keep forgetting that part. You got to unpeg those. If you don't, you're just going to break stuff. Yeah, push this down and pull. There we go. Push that down, pull, then it separates. It separates, and now you got a little turning axis right there. And so it can, do that. There you go. Yeah, just remember to actually unpeg these. I always forget that part, and then I go, why is it not coming out? Oh, right, because those are pegged in. So yeah, you got to unpeg these. And then that'll work just fine. Then you can just slide it up and it'll lock in and everything. Now, here's the other weird thing, is at least on mine, I'm not sure how common this is, but when these are pegged in, I don't know how well you can see it, but the truck bows slightly when those are pegged in. But if you try to straighten out, they unpeg, and then that's the thing. So I've noticed on some surfaces what happens is then this will lift up just enough. These wheels don't roll. On this surface is fine, but Just an FYI, if yours is Boeing, just be aware of that. If it is Boeing, because it might be a problem. So you can see it kind of sometimes doesn't quite grip and doesn't spin. Unless you push down on it a bit. But yeah, there you go. And there's this big old vehicle mode right here. And I'm just going to move it like this real quick so you can see it, hopefully see it pretty well. With impetus here. And throttle. You can see, again, big vehicle mode. You can see just in just your size, just how big he is compared to these two. Yeah, he's so, pretty much as long as the two of them put together. And you can also put Frodo on the back here, although he doesn't quite. He's actually a little too wide for that. This, thanks to the ridges, though, he kind of lots him snugly. Yeah, he's a little too wide too. His front wheels are too wide, but I suspect that's mostly for the shuttle and other things. So why don't I go ahead and get him transformed, and we'll talk about the torso mode real quick. And that is the torso mode. Nothing like I don't want to get too much into it because I want to save a lot of that for the combined mode video, which will be several months away from here. But yeah, it's actually a pretty decent looking torso, all things considered. This does come default with the brown and purple chest that more cartoon accurate with the kind of the mono eye that the cartoon came with and everything. You can see this is where the arms plug in. That's where the legs plug in and everything. Yeah, it's overall does really well in this mode. It's pretty clever how they did everything. And just, like the back of the hip skirts for Onslaught, or Incursus, I should say, are silver so that they, still blend in really well and everything and whatnot, just like they should. And they'll, tabs in together real solidly once, you actually line up everything properly. Yeah, it tabs in together really solidly and everything. And yeah, you still got the movement you should have, which again, I'll go into more detail. But yeah, there's definitely posability, which is kind of surprising and still somewhat kind of neat that they're doing it. So yeah, fantastic, I think, overall, although there is some improvement to be made, which I'll get into that in another video entirely for sure. But yeah, looks great, I think, still. Whatnot. There's a couple little tricks which I'll get into. Again, I'll get into that stuff on the Assaultus video, the Assaultus combined video, when that comes, when we get the final, Brawl comes out, because he'll be the final member. Again, it is again very clever how they did everything and kept it all in one like this. So we'll go ahead and let's get him into robot mode, and we'll talk more about stuff there, shall we? there is Incursus in his robot mode. Which, yeah, there's a couple things to talk about definitely on this guy. Number one, yes, his proportions are a little weird. I mean, he's got a fairly long torso and kind of short-ish legs, and his thighs are kind of skinny and a little close to the center. I personally don't mind so much, but some people will, unfortunately. And yes, he's also very tall. That's for sure. Yeah, he's very tall. He's quite tall. In fact, he's actually taller than some other figures. I'll pull out some of them out comparison in a little bit. But yeah, I just want to talk about he's mostly blue. You got some silver and green here, like regularly there. You got some green down here on the knee pads. Green's on the outside of the arms and whatnot. And yeah, his backpack, compresses down pretty well. Whatnot. He is kind of in that weird spot of like you can't really getting a Toon Arcade Onslaught is going to come with compromise that I guess MMC didn't want to compromise on, especially since they're already trying to do the all-in-one thing. So I think he looks really good like this. He's got the cartoon chest and everything, and although again there is something to change that, which I'll get into in a different video. Yeah, he looks really good. But all very dominated by this dark blue. It's very nice dark blue, by the way. I do really like how he looks like this. He looks pretty good in my opinion. What was I getting to? Right. He also has electronics. He's electronics. He has two batteries up here. I believe they are. Double check that. I can never remember the exact. I just had to buy them special. I remember that. That was annoying. I already have a bunch of batteries and I have to buy even more. Because like no one can really seem to decide on a standard, I guess. Let's see. Okay, you need two 394A/AG9/LR936 batteries. On mine, the electronics are actually slightly incorrect. Basically, there's a little switch in there, and there's a little plastic bar on the bottom of the head. So you push down on the head, and his visor lights up. I don't know how you can see that, but yeah, his visor lights up for about 35 seconds. You just push down on the head, and it does work with Bruticus, or Assaultus, I should say. When you do so, you have to open up the face mask and push down on the head and close back up. But it still looks great. Yeah, you can see that. I hope you can see that it is lit up. Mine though, when you push down the head, there's a little plastic bar on the bottom of the head which pushes up into the switch on electronics, which turns on the LED. Problem is the little box the switch was attached to was loose, so when you pushed up on it, just moved the box rather than the switch. So even the electronics work wouldn't turn on. That's why I had to get in there and use a little bit of glue and fix it. But it's really easy. It's just a little. There's just a little slide. You don't even need to unscrew anything. Just push up this little tab right here and lift it up and lose the back of it. But yeah, just two batteries. Positive is on this side right here. Just slip it in. It's just they made it as toolless as. There's only one thing you really need a tool for, and that's if you buy the upgrade kit. Everything else is pretty much toolless. He's also got his gun, which the nice thing about this gun here is there's two handles. There's a bigger handle which can hold. Assaultus can hold, which again, I'll get into this stuff more in the Assaultus video. But there's this other handle, which you move this up. There's a little handle for him, which again, like pretty much most Masterpiece, there's a little slot in his hand, so you can tab it in right there and he'll hold it just fine. Nice gun. And for whatever reason, this thing also, you can pull the tip of the gun off if you want a shorter barrel, I guess. But I'm fine with this as it is. Again, only problem is that some people noted this gun seems a little small for Assaultus. It's fine for Onslaught or Incursus here. I'm going to keep switching names like this, I swear. It's fine for him, but it's a little small for Assaultus. But they did solve that. Again, different video. Yeah, do like this guy a lot though. He looks really. I don't mind the proportion issues again. I feel like they kind of countermanded by putting this green paint here because I believe this was originally blue. This upper part of the torso or waist was blue, but they made it green, so it works a little better. I don't know why he's not gripping as well as he usually does. He usually grips it a lot more solidly. There we go. Yeah, for some reason he was just not gripping it very well, but yeah, it's not the great. It will hold as long as you don't shake it like a crazy person. Yeah, I don't mind the proportions too much. Yeah, some people are going to find it weird, but I don't mind it too much. Again, that this really does help. This makes it make his waist look a little bigger, because this was blue on some of the early shots, which made it look way worse. Yeah, articulation though, his head on a ball joint, so left, right, up, down, lots of waggle, and of course you can push it down and line it up. Yeah, lots of motion there. It's a little limited when it's a Solstice mode, but it's still good. You got full rotation there, outward on that joint and on that joint. The bicep is a little strange. You have to unpeg this and move it out and keep this out of the way, and then you get bicep, and even then it can, you basically have to do this, which is odd. Kind of frustrating. I get why some people don't like that, but otherwise you get incredibly limited bicep swivel. And also you notice the shoulder joint here, you can't move it in as far unless you move this flap down. If you move this flap down, then yeah, you can move it all the way down. But so yeah, there's a weird limitation there, unfortunately. I wish they could have solved that better, but I'm not sure what they could have done. Elbows though, double jointed, so full curl, like full curl right there. It's a full curl on the elbow, which is nice. Wrists are on swivels. And the thumb's on a ball joint right here, so you got a lot of movement there. And then each finger, all four fingers are individually articulated, and they each have 3 knuckles. You got the base knuckle right here. You can see that. There's a base knuckle right there. Yeah, right there. Actually, I'm going to try to see if I can zoom in a bit. That'll make it a little better. There we go, that's better. Yeah, again, the ball joint on the thumb, but yeah, I got the base knuckle right here. Got that base knuckle. You got another knuckle right above it, and then the third knuckle. Yeah, you get quite the curl on the fingers. Each of them are like that. There's no splay though, because it's just hinges, but still, it's nice that it's like that. The waist, nice, ratchety, fully unhindered waist. You got an ab crunch right above it, which that does have a little bit of a hindrance because of just it go about that far, but it's still a very good crunch. You can see that. Very good crunch there. Which I've heard some people, well, they say basically the ab crunch and whatnot can help alleviate the torso problem, I guess proportion problems. Yeah, hips. You can, that gets out of the way, so you can nice clicky ratchet forward. Goes about that far. Outward is all the way. Thigh swivel is actually right above the knee because of how it transforms and everything is kind of necessary. But it's nice ratchet. Ratcheting knee, which about 9 degrees of bend. And feet, you got ankle tilt. You do have this weird toe thing right there, which goes down, which I don't know sure what that's for exactly. The toes can move up themselves pretty far. And also, if you really want, you can untab this and that will give you that. And then if you want backwards articulation, you have to undo the tough tab here, which is, well, not exactly easy. It's in there real tight, but if you do that, you also got backwards. So yeah, or you can just kind of don't. If you don't want to, you don't tab it in at all. And then it's loose, and then you got full access all the time. But then you can also do that. There you go. So that's his articulation. Really darn good. As expected, kind of for a masterpiece-esque figure of this size. I feel that, yeah, it's good, really good articulation. The only thing is, I guess maybe if you had a double jointed knee or something, but again, it's already doing a whole lot just by being an all-in-one torso for all-in-one combiner torso. So there's that. Okay, real quick, just to give you an idea, like I said, he's a big guy. Here he is next to Megatron, Master MP36. Yeah, you can see bit of a height difference there. Just a small one. It's not a huge deal. Megatron is secure in who he is. He doesn't have to worry about things like being too tiny. And, of course, here he is with the Impetus and Frodo right here. Yeah, you can see a pretty good-looking team so far. So far, they're a pretty good-looking team. We're still just waiting on Blast Off and Brawl. I can't remember their the MMC names for them, but I believe they're both slightly taller than these two guys. So yeah, those guys are coming out over the next few months. I believe Brawl's scheduled for May, but well, knowing MMC, it probably won't come out till June or maybe early July even. Anyway, Incursus here. I feel overall he is pretty darn good as a figure. Yes, he does have his weird, I guess, proportion issues for some people. I don't mind them too much personally. I knew what I was getting into, and I think they're not as bad as I think it's one of those weird things where I noticed it did look worse in pictures than it does in person. So it's one of those weird things that's like I guess the recent-ish Masterpiece Hot Rod and whatnot just looks weird. The proportions look weird on photo than they do in person. Yeah, he's really great looking, I feel. He's got that nice blend. He's not 100% tuned, just like the other two. He's not 100% tuned, but he's very close. And again, there is, if you really want more toy accurate, there's an option. He's about $160 or so on the various retailers and whatnot. Yeah, so he is kind of spendy, but again, he's also a good inch or so taller than Masterpiece Megatron and Optimus even, because those two are roughly the same height. So yeah, he's big, and I think at $160, it's kind of expensive, but he's also, again, very large, and I think he's worth it, especially if you're already in on the set, or if you're just still kind of debating whether or not what Combaticon team to get. I think he's still good. He's still solid. I still really like him, and I'm really looking forward to having the complete combiner, because I've seen a piece of it, but yeah. Yeah, that's it, I think. Yeah. He's good. He's really good. I like him a lot. So I think that's it for this review. I babbled enough. If you found this informative and entertaining, that's great. I hope you like, comment, subscribe if you did. All that stuff. I'll try to keep regularly posting videos, at least semi-regularly, because I can't just buy new figures on a constant basis because then I go broke. I have other things I need to spend money on. But yeah, yeah, check me out there. You can check me on Twitter if you want. It's in the end thing. It should, hopefully, if I remember correctly, I should have put it in the video description as well. Check out the Course Transformation video and whatnot. And the rest of the Assaultus team will be are in a playlist by themselves. And of course, you could check out my Patreon and Coffee if you want to do so and help me out a little bit, just so I can keep buying figures like this, possibly buy more figures like this, or whatever, other figures. Anyway, all that stuff. Anyway, I hope you like this and whatnot, and I hope you stick around, and you'll stick around for the next video review or video on this channel, whatever it is. And until next time, take care. See ya.